Hi, everybody. It's me, Awen, and Julie. And we are here for our first Feature Friday episode. And I don't know about you guys, but Julie and I are really excited about this.
We are.
There's so much cool stuff on WikiTree, and we can't wait to share some of it with you. We sort of decided to do these videos because we've talked a lot lately about new members and how we can help new members be more successful on WikiTree. And something that comes up often is that people say, well, I didn't even know about that. I didn't know this was here. I've been on WikiTree pretty active since 2013 and I still find stuff that I did not know existed. And so we thought it would be really fun to do a couple videos a month where we can showcase some of the really cool stuff that WikiTree has to offer, and then hopefully help everybody, not just new members, be more successful and have a better experience and really be able to make use of the great tools that WikiTree has to offer. So, yes?
Yes?
Oh, you looked like you're about to say something.
No, I was just getting my little tabs ready.
Okay. So for today's feature, we are going to do our part one of the overview of the apps that are available. There are actually quite a few of them. I didn't realize until we started going through them. And there are some that we can combine into a video like this where we can show you them. There's others that are actually pretty elaborate, and those we're going to cover in future episodes more on their own. So we have the time to really get into what they can do. So we're going to do part one of apps today, and then in a month, we're going to do another apps one where we'll do an overview of some of the other ones. And then in between that, in 2 weeks, we'll have Rob Pavey, and he's going to go over his AGC and his Sorcerer apps, which are super popular. So we're really excited about that. And then going forward, we want to cover things like categories and projects and things like the family tree and tools, the tutorial pages,
Relationship Finder.
connection finder, all the cool things we've been able to do with those. And, all the kind of hidden gems and tips and tricks that are all over the website. So we're really excited about that. But today, Julie is going to
I'll be
share.
Cartoon Julie.
She's going to go through 10 today. So if you have questions or comments or tips while she's going through them, you can post them in the chat, and after each app, we'll check to see if there's any questions or if someone has a suggestion on how to use it, and we'll share those or try and answer those too. So, all
And
yours.
full disclosure here, some of these I hadn't used before this week. So I'm not an expert on any of them, but I think I covered all the features on them. So if you guys have better ways to use them that I'm not hitting on, just say so, and we'll take a look at whatever you have to suggest. So the first thing we're going to get started with is the Ancestry Citation Builder. I'm going to click over here to the apps page. Aowen, can you share the screen for us?
I can.
So the Ancestry Citation Builder is here on the Help Apps page. You guys are probably familiar with that. That's where you can find all of our bits and pieces that fit with WikiTree. So it's right here. Pop that open. So this was written by Greg Clark. Greg is most famous for his fan chart, and we'll cover that another day. But he's got here a piece of software. It's really like a whole piece of software in one web page, where he can help you build a citation to add to a profile. There's a lot of moving parts here. So I'm going to try and keep it simple. I'm just going to do an Ancestry indexed record.
Cool.
So I have a profile here. Do you see James Henry Latta? Is it showing my whole window?
It's showing. You're good.
Okay, excellent. So I'm going to scroll down here. I have a death record for him. And actually, I already created the thing because I didn't want to be unprepared. So we're going to go look at his death record over here on Ancestry. So on Greg's page, I have selected Ancestry indexed record. I'm telling it which site I use. You can do it for any of the different countries that have Ancestry available. I want to put the URL in here for the record. I just pop up here to the address bar and grab it. Pop that in the field. And you can ask it, because we all use Ancestry, but it's a subscription site. So I actually like to use this little checkbox here that says require subscription, so people know that if they go out there, they may not be able to look at it.
Right.
Another neat feature that he has available is that you can choose from a list for sets of records out there. So if you don't know, you don't want to type all of it in, actually, you can probably find what you're looking for here. And on James's, we're going to be using the New York US Death Index. So I think that's on here.
Yeah, and I know I talked to Greg about this because I started using this, and the things that aren't listed can be added by other people. So he said
added to the drop down.
Are you on the section I think you're on, where it does the type of what it is?
I'm doing the source quick pick.
Yeah.
Maybe so the repository. I don't see the one that I'm looking for. So, and that's okay. We don't need to use that. So next thing you want to do is go to the source information. So you go back to your record, and this is really self-explanatory. He has this labeled well. There is a section on Ancestry for source information. You just copy that into the box. You can even expand the box if you need to. I don't. Source citation, again, on Ancestry, that's right here. I'll try to pick up the pace here a little bit. I don't want to put anybody to sleep.
No, you're good.
The source or the search path is really just how, if you went into a collection of records and you needed to drill down to find the record, that's what this source path is, or search path is. I'm not doing that for this record because the link should take you straight to the record. So we're not going to do that for this particular record. Date accessed is already filled in. Free to view image link. So that I can go back over here. I can view the image. I love the free to view image app or image link. Definitely. So you can go to the share. You could just use like a Facebook. It's not going to post it to Facebook without you saying more. Oh, it says it's not set up for me. So I'm going to say, okay. But still, when I come out, look, it's already there. It puts it in a little box. So we'll copy that. Can fill that in. Images are great. Final note, transcription. I've gone through like 10 apps in the last 3 days. So I don't remember what this field was.
Which one?
Somebody tell me the final note / transcription. Let's see. I guess I could probably add something in there on my own. Or I could copy this stuff in.
Yeah, I think that field is just for anything additional you might want to add.
Yeah. And we can do new line characters if we want. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to compile it. I'm going to use a simple ref. So this will create an inline citation that I can just paste right into the profile. You'll notice it's got ref there, the closing tag there. It's got the Ancestry templates. I'll copy that and we can go look at it over here. And like I said, I already put this in here once as I was goofing around. Just for fun, I'll put it down here and take the ref tags out. And there's your citation. We'll do a preview.
it is.
Now, one thing it did is it kind of gave me a page or a line break here that I'm not crazy about, so I'll fix that. I think I would prefer to just have that there. There you go. Easy peasy.
Yep.
So that's a great way. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but when I used to use Ancestry to get citations, I never liked how they ended up. It would just seemed a little, wonky to try and move everything over. And then this app that Greg wrote actually uses our external link templates to create the sharing links and everything. So that's really handy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I
So
like
I'm
it.
going to, yeah. So that's about all I have to show you for that. I'm going to back out of here since I already have that on here. Has anybody else used this much? Do you have any other tips and tricks for us?
Now, Nancy was saying she usually adds the name of the source and the profile somewhere in the citation. Oh, Jolene, can the citations be used on other sites too?
Oh, I would think so.
As in copy paste them.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Except those external link templates won't work for you. So you would want to replace those with just the URL probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Ben,
And Benjamin, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say Benjamin wants to know if that requires a subscription. Well, it's creating Ancestry citations. So yeah, Ancestry does require a citation or a subscription.
Cool.
So yeah. So that's kind of a cool app. Greg has worked hard on this. Greg works hard on all of the apps that he makes for us. He just does a great job.
He really does. He's done a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah. So we'll move on.
What's next?
We are going to talk about, this is another one of my favorites, the Biography Generator.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
I know. I played around with that quite a bit this week, and I discovered a way to use it that I hadn't thought of before.
Cool.
So, if you want to pop me up there into...
Yeah, I will. I just wanted to show again where the help... They're all listed on the apps help page, so you can get to the apps from there.
Yes, right there. Yeah, so you can just do a Control F and search for stuff, or you can just scroll. So I popped open the Biography Generator here. It's a very simple looking tool, but it does something really cool that I just didn't think about until the other day. So here is like my second great grandfather. I don't really have much of a biography for him yet.
Mm-hmm.
So let me grab his, I still have muscle memory to grab the URL when I can just go here and get his ID. So I'm going to put his profile ID there. And I'm going to check this box that will include spaces for inline citations. And I'm going to generate a biography for him. Magic, look at that.
Nice.
Isn't that cool? So here's my helpful tip for that. First of all, I'm going to break it into paragraphs. And I can do that right here in this box.
Nice.
So let's see, there's his parents. He married and had 6 children. And he died. That, of course, he did a lot more than that, but
that was it, just that.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this into his profile. I have some of these records over there, but mostly I think I just have, I have a marriage record and some other stuff. Okay, so I'll edit his profile. And I will pop that in here. So as you can see, we have citation needed here. So I don't have a birth record for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I need it. Well, citation 1 doesn't really tell me a whole lot. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say citation needed, birth record.
Nice.
And I need a record that shows parents' names. I need a marriage record, which I do have down here.
Mm-hmm.
I have an old Yeah, this is a research note. I haven't I'm trying to do two things at once. Brain doesn't work like that. I have a marriage record, so we'll put that up here. And it lists all the children. I personally am not a fan of putting citations for each child in because those are on their profiles. So I'm going to take that out. That's your own preference.
Yeah,
so
that's a personal preference.
Yeah, you can do that if you want, but I'm going to take them out. And I know that he died, but I don't have a citation for it yet. I have a burial citation, but so I need a death record. So now that I've edited those, watch this. This is like my favorite tip of the day.
Let's see.
I have a little to-do list down here now of the records that I need.
Oh.
I know that's not super clever, but it is kind of handy.
Is. No, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Yes.
I like that.
So now I know when I come in here, I can look down in my sources section and see where I need to start searching for more information.
Exactly what you need to look for.
Yeah. So there's my most helpful tip of the day, I think.
I like that.
Yes. So I'm going to save this one because I hadn't really added anything for him yet. So does anybody else have any helpful hints for us? I've got to quit coming over here. You're going to have to read the helpful hints.
I will. If there were any. John did ask if there's a way to create Scotland's people citations, and I'm pretty sure that Rob is working that into his Sorcerer app, so that would be a good one to bring up next time. When he's here and
Perfect.
He can answer that question for us.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and that would be a great time to add to his to-do list if he hasn't added that to his
I'm
to his
almost
list
positive
yet.
that I saw it come up in G2G, and he said, his intention is to add more and more things to it. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, and yeah, that was about it for that one.
Okay.
Oh, Nancy said citation needed is optional. She doesn't want to scare newbies away as long as there is at least one citation in the record.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's cool though for what Julie was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to have
list.
it. Here, we're back again. You don't even have to do the inline citation checkbox on there. I just did that because I discovered I could make a to-do list for myself.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Stephen is asking about WikiTree Sorcerer. So Rob Pavey will be our guest 2 weeks from now, where we're only going to talk about his two apps, the AGC and the WikiTree Sorcerer. So save all your questions about those for when he's here, because I know he's excited to come and talk about it and answer questions.
Yes. And I think Hillary, she said earlier, I think she was a, did she say she was a beta tester for Rob? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think she is, yeah.
Yes, which is cool. Well, it'd be good to have her here. Hillary, mark your calendar, 2 weeks from today. Is it 2 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Yeah. God,
yeah.
It's like the week before Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving.
Yep.
All right. So next on our list is, I'm popping around here a little bit. I don't know, you guys can't. Ancestor Statistics. Say that 3 times fast.
No.
Go ahead, Eowyn.
No, I'm not going to.
And this is just kind of, do you want to share again? I've got the screen up here.
I did.
Okay, so this you can only run from your own profile. Basically, if you're logged in, it will use your ID as the base. And then it will show you up to 10 generations of your ancestors. And this is from Jamie Nelson, one of our team members who likes to write apps, and she did a pretty cool thing here. So just some useful info. Again, 10 generations. It shows you how many profiles you have for each generation. So you can, or excuse me, birth dates you have for each generation.
Cool.
So while I might have all 32 of my third great grandparents, only there's 6 of them that don't have birth dates. It gets worse.
I see it getting larger.
Yeah, so that gives you a target of some things to work for. Of course, when you get out to the seventh great grandparents, working on that is a little harder.
Just a bit.
Yeah. So we'll just look at each column real quick. Got the earliest birth year per generation, which is kind of fun to look at. The latest birth year, so there's quite a spread here in my seventh great grandparents generation.
Yeah.
Their average birth year. And then we look at generation length, which I was a little confused by at first. So I talked to Jamie and I figured it out with her help. And I did a little searching on Google because I wasn't sure how to define generation length. But the ISOG definition says you take the average birth year of each generation and then subtract. So right here you see that it's 30
yeah.
years. Yeah, so this 30 comes from subtracting 1678 from 1708. So this is basically like the average age of a person in a generation. So like from when the generation started to when the next generation started. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of cool to look at. This was a rabbit hole for me. So I started playing around just a little bit, and I thought it was also cool to take like the earliest birth year in each generation. And what you found, there's quite a bit of difference there. You know, like people were much younger when the next generation started than what this indicates, but that's the officially defined generation length. And then I thought this was really interesting too, the average lifespan. It mostly increases, but this generation right here included the Great Depression, generation 3. So you'll notice that the average lifespan dropped off by quite a bit.
It did.
So I just thought that was really interesting. You can maybe look at your own and see, you know, what sorts of things were attributed to that change. This also included the 1918 flu pandemic.
Oh,
cool. So yeah. So I just thought that was really interesting. Definitely. Oh, and then down here, average lifespan of everyone, average generation length, and your oldest ancestor.
Oh, that's cool too.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. Jamie has a G2G post that she put out when she first created this. So if you have any suggestions or questions, that's the place to ask them.
Nice.
So that's fun. That's just a fun one to me. Numbers. Even though I can't do math on the fly, I do like numbers.
Yeah, so, it's fun.
Yeah.
So a couple of people asked about where you can find apps, so I will just show it again. This is the help page.
I've got it open right here.
You can also go to the drop-down menus in the upper right corner under Find. It's right there at the top, apps, so you can get to them that way.
I clicked instead of hovering. I don't know if you're looking at my screen or yours.
No, it's not up.
Okay.
Up.
Yeah.
But those are two ways. You can just go to the help page, or the Find drop-down menu and apps is right there.
And some of them are included on your WikiTree and Tools tab as well.
The Family Tree and Tools?
Excuse me. Yes. Yeah. That's what I said. Didn't I say that?
No, you're close. So, and then Kay asked about WikiTree Plus. So let me just interject here. We're actually going to also start another type of live cast, and we're calling it Ask Us Anything or Ask Me Anything. If you've seen those before, it's where basically we'll take a bunch of questions about a topic ahead of time, and then during the live cast, we'll answer those. We'll answer questions from the live chat. And so Alesh is going to join an Ask Us Anything specifically for WikiTree Plus in February or March. So we'll be able to devote a whole question and answer just to WikiTree Plus, because there's no way that one, Julie and I could cover it in enough time in one of these, or two, that we would even know all the things to answer all the questions.
That's the bigger problem.
Yeah. So watch for that. It'll be in a couple months, but it should be really good.
Okay, great. All right, so back to the apps here. Do you want to share me again? What are we looking at? WikiTree Turbo. This one I think might be a little more obscure. So I've used this for a really long time. Julian Laffey wrote this some time ago. I think it might say out here. Well, he updated it in 2020. But this is kind of a cool little extension, and I have it right up here
Mhm.
in my extension bar. I have a lot of extensions. So let
Do you
me
want to
go to, yes.
do you want to quickly explain how there's some apps that you can just use from the apps help page, and that there's some where you have to add an extension?
Right. Yeah. So an extension is like extension, it extends the functionality of your browser. Some of them work in browsers besides Chrome. This one, I believe, only works in Chrome. Let me look and see what he says here. Let's see. He does not say, but I believe it's just Chrome. And you'll notice that these browser extensions show up in a different section of the apps page. So you've got your standalone apps up here. And if you scroll down, you'll find the browsers extensions. So these are something that works with your browser. It knows when you're on a WikiTree page, and it will use the data from the WikiTree page to do stuff. So was that a good description?
That was good.
Okay. So yeah, so this is an extension. I installed it here. You can get it from the Google Play Store. And it will, be pretty self-explanatory once you get there. This button here will change to add to Chrome when you're ready to add it. So let me close this and go grab my sample profile. This is my great-grandfather.
Noah.
And Noah Tilford, he was a pastor.
Oh, cool.
So the thing that I use the most from WikiTree Turbo is this. You've got your descendants button.
Mm-hmm.
So the WikiTree Turbo adds these little expand and collapse buttons.
Oh.
So if I want to go and work on the descendants, here's what I like to do. I close them all up. And then I have a simple list, and I can just work through here and make sure I've got everything for everybody. And when I'm done with that, I can go, all right, Fred had 2 children. Let's work on those.
That is cool.
Isn't it? And then
Yeah.
Lily, this is my grandma, by the way, had, I think, 6 children. One of them died as a baby. So then, 7. So then I can just work on those. And I use the descendant list all the time. So
That's very cool.
I love this feature. This is probably the most used feature of any of the apps that I've been using lately.
Nice.
Yeah. So another cool thing, you see this quick search button up here? I bet you haven't seen that before, have you?
No.
So when I click it, I can search it takes a minute to load, but I can search my watch list. And I just typed the last name Corson. I'm gonna say it's a little bit slow, so don't think that you didn't do anything. It did hear you, but it's gonna take a minute to load up here. Oh, I'll wait. It might be because my watch list has over 5,000 profiles on it.
Oh,
I know. Shh. I got it below 5,000 for a
now
while.
it's over again.
It's back. Oh, come on. Yes, I'm gonna wait. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I thought that this happened faster the other day.
Will it
might be.
cooperate?
Oh, we'll see. You want to tell us a joke while we're waiting?
What does the thesaurus have for breakfast?
I've heard this before.
Probably because it's my favorite pun.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
A synonym roll.
Oh, yes. You did tell me that before. And that was perfect timing because now it's got my stuff loaded here. So I typed Corson just to see what other Corsons I have. I have a bunch. So it just brings them up. And of course, I can click on one and it will load it into the current tab. So that's a cool feature too.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then the third thing, let's go back to great grandpa. you can tag people in photos. This button shows up when you have this extension involved or installed. Wow. And I can say Noah is here. Did it? And I can say, oh boy, I don't know which one. Oh, there she is. She's in the back. There she is. Laura May was his wife.
Nice.
So I'm going to be done tagging for now. It actually adds some code into a comment. If you delete this comment, it will delete the tagging from your photo and you'll need to start over.
That's good to know.
Yeah, right now I can go up here when I hover over Noah. Isn't that fun? There's Lily. There's Laura.
Laura May.
Yep. So that's kind of cool, right?
That is cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty quick. Those are the 3 things that the WikiTree Turbo extension does. I don't use the photo tagging a lot because I have 8 boxes of photos I still need to load up. So I haven't done much of that yet. But it is it's a neat feature.
That's really cool. I'm gonna have to add that one.
Yeah. Like I said, my favorite is the collapsible thing.
Definitely.
Okay, so this Nancy and I were looking at this the other day. This is called what is the official title? Family Search Match. This is going to go through my watch list and find matches on Family Search for the profiles on my watch list.
Oh.
So you have to have a Family Search account. So I'm going to sign in. Which is free, just like us. And then it will scan my watch list. And I've already matched some of them up, so I know that Margaretha Craft has a profile on there, and I've already matched her up. I'm going to scroll down a ways, and I know that there's, this is the same guy here. Oh, I'm sorry, the second one. This is the same guy. So I can create a match.
Yep.
Yeah, if I can get it to click. So now it's added him as an existing match, and I can do an update. And that's going to pop open a window where I can bring the data, the external data from Family Search into the profile. And I can compare them to make sure that they're actually the same. I knew that they were because I looked at this earlier.
Right.
So it looks like a profile merge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then when you come down here, it adds a citation for that profile on Family Tree or on Family Search. I take the HTML out because we don't like that. So the one thing I mean, I like that it does this because I like to have the connection there because you always need to verify stuff you get from other sites. We already do that, right?
That's true.
But it's nice to know that there's another profile over there that maybe somebody else found stuff on Family Search that I haven't found yet. So I can go look at their work and do a comparison. Maybe they found a death record I haven't been able to find or something like that.
Definitely.
So this is just a handy dandy way to do that.
Can you, Stephen wants to know, can you undo the match once you make it?
Yes, sir. You've got a remove match link here. And he puts it right back down in the possibles.
Cool. And Nancy said the only disadvantage she saw is that it's in alphabetical order. So if you use it, you need to pay attention to what page you're on. Yep.
And if you've got a large watch list, it could get a little tedious to go through it. But, you could always use Control F is your friend. Search for the name up here.
And then just to go back to the Turbo extension really quick, Dee Brower wants to know if people don't have the Turbo extension, can they see the photo tags?
Yes. And that's what that comment that showed up on that picture did.
So anybody can see it?
Should be able to. As a matter of fact, you know what I'll do? I'll do this just for you guys. I'm going to take that off. Actually, I can shut it off. I'll just turn it off. I don't want to uninstall it.
So she's turning off her extension.
Yeah, so I'm gonna refresh, and there's no button up here anymore.
But you can.
Ah, it's not
Oh,
working.
maybe it doesn't.
I thought it would.
So it looks like the answer to that is no.
That you are correct. That's a good question. That was a great question. I thought that it would still be there, but you're absolutely right. I thought that this code down here would make it show up. Good to
thing you
know.
checked.
Yes.
Good
Thank you.
question. Thank
Who
you.
did you say asked that?
D. Brower.
Thank you, Dee. You have enlightened us. I'm going to go turn it back on. Okay, that's good to know. That's what I thought the purpose of this comment down here was for. I thought it would show it anyway.
I guess not.
Nope.
LG Price wants to know if having several apps running slows down WikiTree. Have you ever noticed that it slows it down? I haven't either.
No. I mean, the standalone apps, you're not usually going to run those concurrently.
Right.
You can see how many extensions I use up here. Not all of them are WikiTree extensions, but you know, sometimes I did run into a problem the other day where I had something. We both did that, where I had something that wasn't working right, and oh, I know what it was. All of the radio buttons disappeared on WikiTree for me, and Steve Harris and I were talking, and so I shut off all of my WikiTree extensions, and it fixed it. And then I turned them all back on, and it was fine. So, you know, I turned them back on at the time, and everything was fine. So I don't know what happened there.
Good. Yeah, Azure commented that she's never noticed a difference, and I believe she uses quite a few. So.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions I can answer on any of those we've covered so far?
Not yet. What's the next one?
The next one, oh, I didn't have a sample app, I guess, because I didn't feel the need. This is one I think most of you already know about. Let me go to my profile real quick. And I'm going to go to Grandpa Frank. Wasn't he a handsome man?
He really was.
So root search is, you can get to it two ways from WikiTree. It actually works with some other sites too, but we're going to just stick to WikiTree today. So if I go to the profile ID menu and I go to research, it'll pop open a new tab. Or I can just scroll down to the research section on his profile, and it's right there as well. This will not show up if you're working on a private profile on your watch list. At least, maybe it's just unlisted. I can't remember. But anyway, so when you open it, it pops open this nice screen for you, and it fills in all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one of my little quirks. I always just take it down to the state when I'm searching, because otherwise I feel like it filters things too much. You can remove any of the information here. Like if you wanted to try and search, sometimes if you search census records with the parents' names entered, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, so you can remove and add information there.
Yeah. So down on the bottom, I have all my favorite websites lined up here that I can use for searching. If I want to, I can go into more sites and enable more of them, or disable some of them if I feel like I have some that I don't use.
Oh, I did not know that. That's cool.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't.
Oh, Eowyn.
I know. I'm a failure. Now I know.
You're not a failure. You're the forest elf. You can't be a failure.
That's true. It's a good point.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go to my favorite starting point, and that's family search. And it's going to open up the search screen, and it's going to fill in all the stuff that came from root search. Magically. It's magic.
Magic.
And there's my grandpa and my grandma. And their marriage record, which I already have, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, it's just a quick way to get places.
It's really great for that.
Yeah, and again, well, this is family search, so I'm not going to tell you how to use that, but This screen here just does it all for you. And of course, this is Justin York that has created this. And he's got all kinds of stuff up here. I don't know how current his blog is, but this is where you can get help and whatever else you need. I think it just goes back to a help page on WikiTree. Nope, I'm totally wrong. I haven't really used this part, so. But you can learn
how
more.
to use it.
Yep, you can learn more by going there. I think most people have used this, or at least most experienced WikiTreeers have used this. I'm curious to know if. Go ahead.
No, you're curious to know what?
How many people that are watching didn't know about it? Let's wait.
Yeah, tell us if you did not know about it. But I do think it's one of the more popular, more used apps for sure.
I agree.
So,
all right.
Azure said she always takes it down to the state level too. That helps.
Oh, good.
Feel good about that choice.
If Azure does it, then I know it's right. She's a smart cookie. So, okay, I'm ready to go back. Do you want to share again?
I do.
We're going to talk about WikiTree X, not WikiTree Plus.
WikiTree
X. Oh. How does he have that on here? They're not in alphabetical order either. There it is. No, that's Plus. Oh, it's because it's down here. There we go. No, that's not it. Another Justin York masterpiece is WikiTree X. Here's the help page if you need help. Talks about installation, how to use it. It is also an extension. Here's the little button up here. So I used to use this all the time when I would go to Family Search, but there is a little bit of a bug for it. Right now, the way Family Search has restructured their database and or their interface, when you go to Family Search and try to use WikiTree Plus, it will only work to pull information in from the principal on a record. For example,
so like it won't do the spouse and the children, or
right. So if you're, let me see if I can pull up a census record for Ruby. Look, I'm using root search.
Look at you.
This is like my regular workflow here. So I'm going to pull up Ruby's, this is her. She is in the, this is her birth record. So if I pull this up, I should be able to get Ruby's information and pull it into WikiTree using WikiTree Plus. But
WikiTree
if I were,
X.
Sorry. If I click on her father's name or her mother's name and pull up that version of this record, it will not pull their information into WikiTree because it just looks at the principal.
Just the principal.
Yeah. So with this record up, I'm going to click WikiTree X, and I want to update Ruby's profile. Wrong thing. There we go. I put her profile ID in. I click go. And again, we're seeing it looks like another merge screen. It brings in the external data.
You can compare.
Yep, I have her birth date from that record. I can add that. I can add her location. There's really nothing else on that record that's bringing in, but it also pulls the citation in.
That's handy.
It is. When was she born? 1881. I don't know when she died, so I'm just going to assume that Pat Coleman did know her, so we'll leave her statement there. This is me being fussy, taking out the HTML. We don't need that anymore. This is like an old 2011 profile, so some of the stuff that's on here we don't need anymore. And so now I've got the citation in here. I updated her stuff. I can click save. And look, I have her birth date now.
Cool.
We can check that off as a Friday date night win.
And it looked like there were 3 options. You could either add to an existing profile,
Mm-hmm.
create a new person that was attached to someone, but you're saying you probably can't do that,
On
right?
family search, that doesn't work. However, if you go to Find a Grave, I gotta find something quick. Let's just go to whatever pops up here. We'll just use his profile. If I go to Find a Grave, I could use WikiTree X to create a profile for him. So I pop it open, create an unrelated WikiTree profile, click go, and we'll wait for a second. Oh, don't tell me that part's broken. I'm very sorry, it's not working.
Yeah, that is one thing I'll just say about the apps is that most of these are done by people outside of the WikiTree team, and so they have their information on their own sites for the most part, and they are responsible for updating and fixing bugs and things like that. So sometimes you might find a bug like this where it just is.
Yeah.
Like there's if it's not an extension by Jamie or Alesh, pretty much there's not a whole lot we can do about it.
I do know for Justin, his life has gotten very busy,
Very
so
busy.
he hasn't been able to keep WikiTree X up to date as much as I'm sure he wish he could, but they're still
But it's
very
still got
useful
lots of useful.
features. Yeah. I love just being able to bring that data over with the click of a button like that. It makes it so easy.
Definitely.
And the creation button was working not that long ago, so my apologies for that not holding up for us there.
Alesh says, "You're dating, Julie."
I am dating. I don't know if he means I'm dating myself and how long I've been here or just dating.
Both. Probably both. No, you dated a profile. That's what he's
I
saying.
did. I did date a profile. Where's my glass of wine? I'm dating. Ha,
It's true.
get it?
You need some soft music in the background.
Yeah. Alrighty. So here's
Azure,
another fun thing. Go ahead.
Azure said, "I've been adding from the family search profile to add a new profile as a family member or unrelated with WikiTree X." So
Okay. So that's working from family search. It didn't want to work from Find a
find
Grave
a grave.
today. So
So
I'll fool around with it, you guys. It's not going to break anything. So, if you want to go play with it and see what is or isn't working. It also, I believe, links to a G2G post where you can, if you're having trouble with it, you can post there. And I do know Justin follows that.
he does.
He may not have a lot of time right now to do updates, but I do know he follows that and he's probably got a long to-do list for a couple of these things.
Yep.
So our next one this is an app I had never heard of before. It's called Sticker Checker. Oh, check stickers. I had that totally backwards.
Mhm.
Do you want to share me again?
I did.
Oh, you're on it. Okay, so here is Hans George Konder. He is a Palatine migration, probably. Oh no, he is an immigrant. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull his ID over here, and he's from Germany. Apparently,
Yeah,
I
there's
did
a
this for
handful of
somebody else. Go
there's a
ahead.
handful of countries that you can use.
Mm-hmm. So I clicked Germany because that's where he's from, and I'm going to click submit, and it's going to take a few minutes to build the entire list, but it shows them as they're coming up here. It's going to show me all of his descendants and whether or not they have the German descendant sticker. So if it's in red, the sticker does not exist on that profile.
Thank
Sorry.
you, Joey.
No, that was
Casey.
Casey. We would not have a live cast without my dogs barking, right? I'm trying to find one. I know there's some that have stickers in this list, but they were way down and it's taking time to load. What we can do while we're looking is you can pop into that profile I don't have the sticker handy, but you can add it into the biography, and it will add them. Does the descendant sticker add them to categories too, Aowen?
I don't believe so.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think it does either now that I
No,
think
because
about it.
it's just basically, I think they all mostly say something like so and so has German ancestors or is of German descent. It doesn't put them in a
Right.
category.
Yeah, I think you're right. This one goes back quite a ways to Germany. Apparently, I've been in here for long enough because my dogs have now lost their patience. Okay, I know there was one in here that didn't have a sticker, that did have the sticker. Yeah, let's go back. Something else you can do, you can put your own ID in here and click submit. Oh, sorry. Click ancestors, wrong button. And it will go out 10 generations and get me a list of my ancestors from Germany.
Oh, nice.
Or whatever
country.
country I selected. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I selected one of them, and now if I submit, I will get her report. Ah, see, there's some, has sticker. It's green if she has the sticker. And there should be an error down here. I did not fix all of these. It's going to take a while to load these. Ah, here it is.
There's one.
There's a sticker, but it's misplaced. So we'll pop out there. Stickers belong below the biography header. So I'll do that. I don't know if it does an immediate correction or not. It was just a minor correction. And save. So that's fixed. Now, I don't think it will update this right away unless I reran the report. We saw how long that took, so we're not doing
that. Let's not do that.
But anyway, this is just a good way to go through, and if you really are dedicated to adding all of your German descendants or Scottish or
that's a good way to do it.
Wales, Ireland, in England, you can find them. So that's kind of cool. All right, who's next? Oh, we have another way to look at our tree. This is.
Hold on. LG Price wants to know why stickers need to be below the biography header.
It's a style choice that we made through the community, I believe. Some time ago, we had a big discussion on G2G. Yeah. The project boxes, research notes. What else? What other templates do we put above biography? Research notes and project boxes and stuff go above. But if
but it displays them below. It's part of the template to do that.
Right.
So
the stickers, so let's talk about templates for just a second. Templates are what you see that use the curly braces around it, around the words.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of those is in the sticker category, it should go below the biography header. And you can put it anywhere below the biography header. So if you want a sticker to show up and be related to some text that you're putting in the biography, you can do that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of shows up on the right side along with the paragraph.
Yeah, Alesh kind of says stickers should be next to the text describing them.
Yeah. So that was just a style choice that the community made several years ago.
A long time ago.
Right. And we didn't even have stickers before then. They're kind of relatively new to WikiTree. Okay. So our next and final app is the Topola. And I don't know if I'm saying that right. Topola Genealogy
Topola?
Viewer. Topola. I'm not even going to try to pronounce our developer's name because I believe he's from Poland and I do not speak. I'm sure, you know what, I bet Alesh could say it. Persmek Veach, I think is how we say it. But anyway, it's kind of a cool way to look at your tree. We go in here and select a WikiTree ID. I'll just put in mine. I can't type. It's going to take a minute and it's going to pop my tree in here and give us a few more features that we don't have within the website. It kind of creates a dynamic tree that you can move around and look at different generations and stuff. There we go. So there's me and my husband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go up here. You can zoom in and out just by scrolling. I have a touchpad, so I'm just swiping to do that. And then you can click on anybody and they'll kind of get their own focus here. Mm-hmm. So this is Matilda Mulvaney. I see that I have her marriage information included there. And I just scrolled it away by accident. It is a little bit touchy. Here's a couple where I don't have their marriage information entered. So the little bubble sits down here without the marriage info. So it's just kind of a neat way to look at your tree. You can scroll around and look at the different branches, scroll in and out. And then it has a handy dandy link over here where I can just go to that person's profile.
3-wit.
Yep. I had no idea until yesterday that I had 3 wits in my family.
Better than having half wits.
Yes, I agree. I was glad we had 3. So that's Topola.
Nice.
Topola. You can download your tree to different file formats. The fancy tree doesn't really, I mean, you could print that out if you wanted to have something cool to look at. The hourglass is a little more feature heavy. You can print it and you can pull in files from elsewhere. Nice. Would you excuse me while I let my dogs outside?
Yes, we'll excuse you. Nancy says, so many apps in 1 hour. I know. And there's
10
more. There'll be 10 more soon. So that was awesome, Julie.
Good Thank job. You. Thank you.
Great.
I learned stuff. I did too.
I learned a lot. So in 2 weeks we will have Rob Pavey here. Like I said, he will be going over his AGC and his Sorcerer apps. So come with your questions for that. Just some other upcoming live casts tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You can join me and Mags and Julie if she's around for the weekly recap. And next Friday we'll have Friday date night. Me and Julie will be back for that one. And then every Wednesday, as usual, we have the WikiTree challenge still going on, so you can watch those videos too. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. We would appreciate it. And like our videos. That would be great too.
Yeah, that'd be
and
fantastic.
share them with your friends. That would be awesome also.
Yes, if you share them on social media, then that will fill your feed with more genealogy stuff. So wouldn't that be great?
Who doesn't want a feed full of genealogy stuff?
I do. I want one.
So, yep, subscribe and like. Thank you.
We're glad everybody popped in here. I didn't even look to see how many people came to visit today. Almost 60.
We've been everywhere from 50 to 60.
That's great.
Pretty good.
For a first.
All right. Well, we'll be back soon for another Feature Friday. And
are you going to play music to get us out of here?
One thing. Should I play the video again?
No.
I was going to say, we do have a Google Calendar. I don't have the link, but if you go to G2G, there's a post called Did You Know We Have a Google Calendar? And you can subscribe to that and get all of the live cast reminders so that you don't miss any of this awesomeness. And I think
Sounds
with
good.
that, we will say goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.